So apparently Daedalic's apology about the Gollum video game was written by ChatGPT. Well, I mean, it was still better than the video game, wasn't it? Wes, hi everybody, and welcome to yet another video. Well then, here we are again, my dear friends, talking about the Gollum video game. It has been receiving quite a lot of attention, hasn't it? Well, no one can wonder about that, since the game has become so infamously bad, to that extent that the Daedalic Entertainment released an apology. An official apology to all the players and all the fans who have played the game and who found out how atrocious it is. Now, I only know this through the lenses of, those people who posted those posts and reviews, because I am not much into video games myself. I rather enjoy a good book. But now, a very, very new piece of information has come out saying that the official apology was actually written by ChatGPT. Now, whether you believe it or not, that's up to you. But what remains a fact is that all this AI thing has become very much a relevant thing, and whatever your stance upon the entire matter is, if you agree with the usage of AI for whatever reason, writing, drawing, whatever, or if you don't agree with it, it is a fact that it is becoming more and more a thing today, and I am afraid that the Skynet is getting more and more powerful, and it has, been becoming more and more relevant and getting more and more influence over the lives of writers and artists. So now I think that it will be appropriate, before we delve into the entire matter, to remind ourselves of the apology, which you can see on the screen right now. And it says, "Dear players, we would like to sincerely apologize for the underwhelming experience many of you have had with The Lord of the Rings Gollum upon its release. We acknowledge and deeply regret that the game did not meet the expectations we set for ourselves or for our dedicated community. Please accept our sincere apologies for any disappointment this may have caused. Our goal as a studio and as passionate Lord of the Rings fans has always been to tell a compelling and immersive story-driven adventure. Crafting a story with Middle-earth as our playground has been the greatest honor and the biggest challenge we have faced so far. At Daedalic, we understand that a game's success relies on the enjoyment and satisfaction of its players. We genuinely value your feedback and have been actively listening to your voices, reading your comments, and analyzing the constructive criticism and suggestions you have provided. Our development team has been working diligently to address the bugs and technical issues many of you experienced. We are committed to providing you with patches that will allow you to enjoy the game to its fullest potential. Once again, we deeply apologize for any inconvenience caused, and we appreciate your understanding during this time. We will continue to keep you updated on our progress and provide transparent communication regarding the upcoming patches and improvements. Your passion and dedication as players have been the driving force behind our determination to make things right. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, Daedalic Entertainment." So, I mean, it's very formal. It really looks at it as if it was written by somebody or something for strictly practical purposes, as if somebody or something was instructed to write an apology in the name of Daedalic Entertainment. It might have been written by just a bored employee. It might have been written by ChatGPT. I don't know. You have to tell me what you think, because I have no experiences with ChatGPT. I stay as far from these things as possible, because I belong among those people who just, no, thank you very much. I don't want any AI in my life. But as far as the allegedly AI-generated apology, here is an article that talks a bit about it. At least in its first half. The second half of the article just reiterates the history of the game and how bad it is. So if you want to read it in its entirety, I shall post a link in the description down below. And it says, one of the 2023's big disappointments was The Lord of the Rings Gollum, a stealth action-adventure from the established German studio Daedalic. Daedalic is a publisher but also built its name on beautiful point-and-click adventures. Gollum was something of a departure for the studio, and its nature as big licensed title in the popular genre meant it faced a new level of competition, expectation, and scrutiny. Despite one major delay, Gollum couldn't deliver. PCG's review found an enjoyably original take on the mythos that was unfortunately buried under a lackluster game of trial and error. The game's PC Metacritic currently stands at 38, with the user reviews even more brutal. Gollum became the subject of a fierce backlash among almost instantly, one of those circumstances where the big license almost came to count against it. The consequences for Daedalic as a development studio would be catastrophic. A new report from the German outlet Game 2 talks to former employees of Daedalic about Gollum and what went wrong both before and after release. It's an excellent analysis of the hubris and flawed methodologies that sometimes underpin failures like this, and while the video is in German, there are English subtitles. Partly it's a development story that any industry watcher has heard before. Crunch, unrealistic goals for development, and a right hand that didn't know what the left was doing. Among this are some nuggets of pretty surprising information. Daedalic itself says that Gollum ended up with a development budget of 50 million euros, only a tenth of a AAA game, which is a remarkably low budget for a game positioned as this was. If you're making an AAA stealth action game, the most obvious competition is something like Assassin's Creed, a series where 15 million euros might just about cover the marketing budget. Daedalic was on a hiding to nothing, and indeed part of this report is the slow realization of its staff that the game faced serious issues. As the release date loomed, Daedalic began simply cutting things from the game. One example given its Gollum eavesdropping on other characters who should have been animated and seen, but the final game simply showing Gollum looking at a window with audio playing atop the scenes. Another more serious casualty was the argument system, intended to show Gollum and Smeagol arguing over choices in the game, which was dropped and replaced by much simpler text-only treatment. Such things contributed to the reaction being so negative. The argument system had been a part of trailers, which soon acquired such fervor that Daedalic issued a bizarre apology for the game, except it turns out this wasn't from the studio at all. Wow, well, that's interesting. Daedalic says this apology was not from Daedalic, but from Nacon, the game's publisher and owner of Daedalic, which had clearly been spooked. Even at the time, people picked up on some of the apology's wording as being meaningless and noted things like the game's name being misspelled. Turns out that's almost certainly because it was written by ChatGPT, and Daedalic didn't even get pre-approval on its apology. Well, so that's interesting. These are the rumors that we are getting today. More and more. Myself, I've been receiving comments in my videos where I was reviewing more modern and bad entertainment, and people have been saying, well, the script for this or that has most certainly been written by ChatGPT. I mean, yes, but sometimes you might say it, but I don't want you to give the incompetence of the writers too much of a good time. No, please do believe in bad writers. That would be too nice, too fair to give them such a good treatment. We have to realize that there are still extremely bad writers in the world, and there are more and more of them. But whether you believe the ChatGPT rumor or not, one thing stands firm. AI is becoming more and more of an issue today. But if you want something that is truly humorous, truly very well written, and it's most certainly not written by ChatGPT, but by a skilled author and a poet, please do look at the screen right now. For my Czech and Polish and Slovakian subscribers, the crowdfunding campaign of my next book is launching today, as of making of this video, the 11th of October 2023, in about, 2 hours at 9 o'clock of European time, Central European time, an extremely humorous collection of fairy tales and poems and accompanying text, all based in old European myths and legends, European folklore, all of it being brought into the 21st century as a satire on the ways people are living today. The campaign will be live for a month. You have only a month to back this, event. This event of European fantasy of 2023. So get in here and enjoy a bag of fun. Alright then, my dear friends, let me know in the comments down below what you think, and that'll be all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm out of here.